Hello, all you coin aficionados out there, and welcome to DC Coin World International Coin Channel. Today we have the 1960 2 shillings coin from the United Kingdom or Great Britain. And we're going to start with the back or the reverse of the coin, just because that's my favorite side of this coin, except my other side's kind of the favorite side also, if that makes any sense. The other side has my favorite portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. This side has my favorite side of the 2 shillings coin. So let's take a look at this coin. Get it nice and big there. So this coin has all of the parts of the United Kingdom on it. Let's start with just reading it and then going through the different parts. So at the top of it, it says Fid Def. And what that is a Latin for defender of the faith. So the Queen or the King of England is the defender of the faith. And of course, at the time, we're talking about the Church of England. If we look down the side here, it says 2, and then it says shillings. And then over here on the this side, it says 1960, so that's our year. In the very center of the coin, we have the symbol of England. And the symbol of England is the Tudor rose, Tudor, which is the name of the house of the uh, English kings and queens, the Tudor. If we look around the outside of this Tudor rose, we see, here's a shamrock, and here's a shamrock, here's a shamrock, here's a shamrock. The shamrocks are the symbol of Ireland, or at this point in time of Northern Ireland, or the top 6 counties of the Irish Isle. Over here, we have a thistle, and a thistle, a thistle, and a thistle. And up here we have a thistle. Those are the symbols of Scotland. So we have the Irish shamrock, the Scottish thistle, and then here, here, and here we have the Welsh leek, which is kind of an onion scallion kind of plant. And so this is a symbol of Wales, the symbol of Ireland, and the symbol of Scotland. And in the very center is the symbol of England. So we have the whole United Kingdom here. Down at the bottom here, if we go way, way deep in, we see that it says EF on this side, and on this side it says CT. And let's get that a little bit, I don't know if we can get the angle any better. Not too much better, so let's not get seasick here and just leave the camera alone. So on this side where it says EF, that stands for Edgar Fuller. And this side where it says C2, it stands for Cecil Thomas. And those were the engravers of this back of the coin. Now, as many of you know, this coin has not always looked like this. And there are a number of different backs of the coin. And in fact, at one point, this was called a 1 florin coin. And we've done a video on this one also, the 1911 1 florin coin. And if you look around here, we see symbols of United Kingdom on here also. But we don't see the symbol of Wales because we have 2 of England. So this is essentially the symbol of England and Wales here. The symbol of Scotland, which is the lion rampant, or rampant lion, or standing lion. The symbol of Ireland, which is the harp, and the symbol of England and Wales, which is the lion's passant, or lying down. And those both are the same. And each of these symbols has a crown. So this is the 1911 1 florin coin, and Britain switched from florins. Instead of saying 1 shilling, 1 florin, they went 1 shilling, 2 shillings on their coins. And so that's what we have here. We see this kind of beaded inner rim. We see that it is reeded around the outside. And then we see my favorite portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. Now this is the first portrait. And if you see something on here, you may notice that it does not say, well, let's look at what it does say first. It says, Elizabeth over here, or the second, Dea Gratia, or by the grace of God, Regina or Queen. Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen. What it does not say on here is Brit Omne, or Queen of all Britons. But what it does have on here is, the back is Defender of the Faith and essentially the symbols of all Britons, or all of the United Kingdom. This, again, is the Mary Gillick portrait, and Elizabeth is facing to the right. She has the kind of laurels in her hair with the ribbon floating off the back, and just a beautifully engraved portrait. Even all these years later, we see how finely the engraving is and how it lasts on a coin. One of the ways you can tell great engraving on a coin is you can still read it 68 or 58 or whatever it is years later. 58, right? 40 plus, yeah, 58, 59 years later. So that's often the sign of great engraving, is that you can continue to read it through years and years and years of use. Now, this coin here is a copper nickel coin. This is not one of the silver coins. The one Flora and I showed you was silver, and that's relatively valuable. This copper nickel coin has value of probably about $1 to $1.50 US. Not a great value. There's some reasons for that, and the first of those reasons is that they made a bunch of them. They made 13.8 million of these. A second reason is they made it in a proof set also, and those were really the collectible ones. They made this coin from 1954 to 1970 in this form. The 1953 coin is very similar, but that is the first year the Queen Elizabeth was queen in 1953, and that has the Brit Omne on it, or the Queen of all Britons on the 1953 coin. So look for that one if you get a chance. And then, of course, I said they made these until 1970, and all of you who collect British coins know that in 1971, Britain went to decimalization, and that was the end of these coins. But what many people did, knowing that that Britain was going to decimalization and knowing that these would be collectible, was they collected them. And so many people collected them that there are plenty of them out there. They're relatively easy to get in this condition. So if you're going to collect them, you may want to collect them in a little bit better condition than this. And you may want to try to collect the proof coins if you can, but they are a little bit dear, a little bit expensive when you get right down to it. So that's all we have today from the DC Coin World International Coin Channel. Good luck coin collecting out there, and we'd love to have you leave any comments in the comment section and subscribe to our channel if you like world and international coin videos.